What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Climb Together podcast, episode number 12. I am one of your hosts, ToNaGeScorp, here with my co-host, Deception the Rapper. Deception, say hi.
Say hi? I mean,
Shh. I said say hi. You
we're
know,
back. That's all that matters.
yeah, we're back. We had to take a week off. Some personal issues arose in my life, and I just wasn't. My setup was kind of just like packed up for like a good 5 days. But it's back up now. It's kind of, it's interesting, but it's a setup, and I love it because I can finally do this again. Plus, if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch, you may see that we have some new overlays, a little bit of climb together, new kind of stuff. Get away from the, kind of basic stuff we were on before. We have a lot of cool things coming with the podcast here in the next couple months. So, what's better than upgrading the visual aspect of it all? And those of you that are listening on like other platforms, hopefully you go watch it on YouTube, or you come to one of the live sessions and see the amazingness of these overlays. You want to know why I say they're amazing? I think Deception knows why.
Because you made them?
Yeah, that's exactly why. But we've got a lot of cool things coming. We're really trying to upgrade the podcast and everything. So, if you guys are here and buckle in, we're ready to, we're working on killing it. So, if you guys...
you say we're working on killing it, but the last episode had like 100 plus views now, so...
Yeah, the 10th episode's at like 115 or 160. It's like in the teens of the hundreds. It's my most viewed video. It
passed the funny zombies number.
It did. So, thank you guys. Also, if you guys weren't aware, the Spotify hold on. The podcast is available on all platforms where you get your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the little small ones. Thank you, Mr. Burner. We appreciate you. But yeah, so if you guys, are watching this now or listening to it and you can't listen to it on YouTube, listen to it on Spotify on your way to work, or Google Podcasts or Apple's Podcasts. Wherever you find your podcast, you can listen to the Climb Together podcast. Just search it and it'll come up. It's the only one. It's the only Climb Together.
I was going to say, it's like YouTube.
Yeah, we're the only one. So, Deception. What do you want to go into first? You want to go into Call of Duty Season 2? Do you want to go into the CDL this past weekend? Or, what's on the agenda for today? What do you want to go into first? Because we have a lot to talk about.
I mean, I can go into whatever. I'm going to carry the podcast again, so just tell me where to start.
Yeah. All right. Hold on just 1 second. Keep talking. I just have to do something real quick. My voice settings are kind of weird.
I guess I could start with CDL. I mean, the first weekend of games for CDL. Qualifying for Major 1 was wild. There was a lot that happened. For sure. There was some surprises, all around just really good series though. I mean, I don't think you could have got a whole lot better than what was produced. One of the funny things about what happened with the CDL is Tim the Tatman brought his jinxing abilities to the CDL.
He did.
I think he mispredicted every one but like 1 or 2 series this weekend. So
that's, yeah, pretty much. And that's the thing though, is if you guys aren't aware, every single time Tim the Tatman makes a prediction of some sort, it always goes the other way.
Yep.
Every single time. It's like why I don't watch the Buffalo Bills play football, because every single time I watch, they lose. So I just don't watch. and they win. Like, I watched the playoff game where they lost. So, I kind of did that to myself, but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, like this weekend was really good for games as far as CDL goes. I mean, um,
A lot of different
uh,
upsets, too. Like, there was a lot of things that were like, huh,
yeah, if
wasn't
we just
expecting
want to
that.
look at like some highlights of series, like if we look at some of the better series that happened as far as like whether it was close or it was an upset or whatever. I mean, a lot of people thought the Mutineers would come out hot again after they came out hot at land, and they got 3-0'd by London to start the weekend. So that was crazy. London was on fire. Boston Breach got their first official series win. They beat LAG in Game 5. Um, the Surge came out and 3-0'd NYSL. That was a little bit of a shock because I thought NYSL would come back and like have kind of like a redemption tour after they didn't perform so well on land. But Seattle has just proven that they are one of the top teams in the game now, and it's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see kind of how, these teams are performing, the difference between LAN and, um, online, since it's kind of like split half and half. I mean, it's definitely different from like before when it was kind of, when it was all online, or when we just got back to LAN. So it's going to be one of those
Yeah.
things. It's like, that's why I'm glad the majors are on LAN, because then that kind of like, you have to play well on LAN to place in those, but at the same time, like, you don't do well online, you're not going to get a good placement, so you really have to show up.
Yeah. And I mean, really the big thing is for every team you want to get in that top 8 so you can start in winner's bracket. Um, because now with the new format, it's like there's no buys anymore. Like Faze isn't going to get a buy to the second series
No.
if they finish first like they did last year all year. Like it's the top 8 teams start in the same round of winners and the bottom 4 start in losers. So it's a payoff for placing well because you get to play against one of the like lower teams in the winners bracket if
Yeah.
you are first or second. But it's also punishing if you finish in that bottom 4 because you start in loser bracket and you're basically playing single elim the whole time.
I think
So
a lot of people don't understand that, um part of it too is that, it's all you have to play good all around. I mean, you can kind of like slack off a little bit on online, but you can't slack off too much, because when you get to the land, if you get in a spot where it's single limb, and you lose, there's no coming back, you know? And
it's like for those bottom 4 teams, they have to show up literally every series.
yeah, they do, or they're gone, or they're gone. They're done.
I mean, they don't get a mulligan. It's not like, oh, they didn't show up today. They'll go down to losers bracket and make a run. It's like they're in losers bracket. They have to show up every day.
Yeah. So who knows? I'm just really I like, one thing that I've noticed from the games that I've been able to watch, because I literally work all weekend, so it's really hard for me to just sit down and watch, as much as like, that's why I'm glad I have Deception here, because he sits down and watches all weekend, and I work all weekend, so it's like, just go to him for everything. But so I have him like updating me. I have him like sending me Snapchat messages being like, Seattle won, or NYSL won this to this against da da da, and oh my god, this play was amazing. So I'm glad I have that, because I'm just sitting there, trying to make my money, and to have God Deception
Yeah, I
keeping
was
me in
just
the loop.
working away and I'm sitting here digesting everything and
You know,
studying.
yeah, it's a good balance we have. You know, um, I'm trying to get better at watching more and more of the games, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. But from the matches that I have watched, it's a lot more competitive, and I like that. I like that there's finally like this really good competitive aspect to the CDL that we haven't seen in like so long. Like, especially
I mean,
like,
I was gonna say it like the next thing I was gonna talk about was Paris versus Faze, they went to game 5. And I think just about everybody thought that Faze would 3-0 them easy.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it's Faze, and Paris, like Paris has like, oh, they have not showed up at all, not at all last year. They kind of had they had a couple good like events the first year, but
Their team this year is way better than it was
yeah, oh
last
yeah,
year.
and I like to see it. I mean, they still have no social media presence, so they still have some work to do, but that's not the point. Um, but no, it's really good to see them finally, you know, take some action and show people what they're about.
Yeah, they took Faze to game 5. That's the start
That is
of
the
the
start.
journey right there. But
Oh, I messed up.
sadly, the start of Optic's journey did not pan out so well this weekend.
Well, I saw a
They
tweet.
lost
I saw a
they
tweet.
lost 2 series in game 5 round
Yeah,
11s.
that's
They
not.
are right now in the standings. Granted, it's early. I guarantee you, this will change. But right now, they are 11th in the standings. They're the only team that they are ahead of is Paris, and that's because they won more maps than Paris did.
So I think that's a good, interesting to see because usually Optic starts out. I saw a tweet from Optic, Optic, Optic Texas, um, and it was saying about how they usually start the season out really strong, you know,
Yeah.
and this year they're
Usually, at
not.
the start of every COD season, they're the best team by far.
Yeah, and
It's like
they're
they're
not
almost
this year.
unbeatable,
Yeah, not now they're
and then
not
they
this
slow
year.
down.
So maybe that's good. They have places to go. They have things to work for. They've seen a lot of mistakes that they can now go and work on. So I think that's. I mean, it's not great. I don't like to see it, because I want to see Optics succeed. There we go, English. But at the same time, it's like now they have a little bit of storyline. Now they can look at these mistakes early on in the game and fix them early on in the game and go move
A lot of
forward.
people just talked about how it could be like a reversal because even Scump talked about it on his stream. He was like, right now we're kind of just drowning a little bit
Hmm.
in our gameplay, and there's stuff that we got to work on.
Oh yeah.
And he said the thing is when we were doing this last year, it was middle of the season, even close to champs when we were doing this. So if we're doing this now, maybe it will be like a reversal.
Yeah, so that maybe they'll fix these mistakes early on and have more games to fix them in, and get more practice in to fix them, and hopefully,
They have plenty of time too.
yeah, they have plenty. If they have the entire
They
season
have
to,
4 majors and a
yeah,
whole bunch of
league matches,
qualifying
scrims.
matches.
Yeah, they've got time to work these things out now, and it's good though because you're seeing these mistakes early on and it's able to fix them. And then the fact that Faze isn't like as dominant as like the fact that Paris took them to game 5. It's like, okay, cool. Like now we can see Faze, more than just Faze, kind of just dominating. Cause like I mean I've said this multiple times. I didn't even watch the championship last year because I had a feeling Faze was gonna win it. Like when they said when I saw on Twitter that Faze won, I'm like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, because they won 3 out of the 5 majors last year plus champs. So I
Yeah,
mean, they just they just knew what they were doing. They were just better than everybody else. But it's like the competition level is so much higher.
which is
Um,
good. I
and
like
I
it.
mean, if you look at even like the series counts, it's like whole weekend we only had 2 3-0s, and that was the first day. I mean, the Saturday when we had 4 matches, they really took it to the max because there was 3 game 5s.
Yeah, so I'm excited. This is like reinvigorating my need of competition in my life, and I like to see it. I like to see the CDL, but I mean, one thing that I think we did call this on the podcast, and I'm gonna bring it up again, is everybody still wants Merc and Maven back.
Yeah, it's never gonna stop.
No,
It's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
like
an
that the
ongoing
whole
thing.
year.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is like, I mean, I get why Merc and Maven didn't because there's a lot of like, COD isn't. It's not. It's not the same. No, and they're not doing certain things right, which is like okay,
And I
yeah.
mean, look at like what other people have done. Like TP was on the desk during like World War II, Black Ops 4, and he was coaching optic as well, and he left
Now
to
he's
go
playing
do
Warzone.
content, and now he's like blown up. Like, so it's like Merc and Maven could easily do that.
Oh yeah, like they have the personalities too. They have the personalities. Well, I mean, I think a good example of them would be like Courage. Like the man started out as like an intern, right? He went to college for. Sorry, there's a. I'm by a main road now, and sometimes I hear like tractors, not tractors, but like trailers go by, and it kind of just distracts me a little bit. So my bad. But
Oh,
the thing is
you're
like you
like a
see,
dog.
I know, squirrel.
You just hear it and you're like, oh,
Squirrel, but no, so like with Courage, it's you look and you see where he kind of came from. He went to school for I think he went to school for something to do with movies, stuff like that, and then he got into the CDL. Then he kind of just went up from there. That's where he got
I
his
remember
base.
when he started.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the first time he ever casted when he was an intern at MLG. He casted a 2K tournament in Advanced Warfare.
And now look at him. He's
That's
one of the
when he
most
started,
successful
and then he
streamers in the
ended up
world.
they let him go to Columbus because he was so good during those online tourneys, and then he casted all of Advanced Warfare. Then when like the CWL started, he was like one of the main talent guys and went
And
up from there.
I mean, now he's not really casting as much anymore. I mean, he did the World Cup for Fortnite, which was probably a
Well, he's
really
not doing
big.
that anymore either.
No, he's not. So he's just kind of. I mean, it's a good thing to see because you can see like it's proof that there's you're not just stuck. You can build your base somewhere and just kind of like take what the knowledge that you've gained and the people that follow you and just like show people what you're about and then take it somewhere else and
Well, the thing
succeed.
about Courage is like he wasn't really streaming like that much.
Mm-mm.
When he would cast, his main source of content was YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like he would make those bot World League videos where he would put like the overlays of the CWL, but it would just be four bots playing against each other. And it was so fun to watch when he would do it and he would cast over it. And everybody loved it. And he would post like stream highlight videos and stuff like that. And he grew.
I mean, he took advantage of what he was given. So, like, the fact that that's like proof for like Mervin and May,
Mervin?
Maven and Merc. God, my English is not happening today. But that's like proof for Merc and Maven. That even though they're
Put
not
Mervin in the
casting
YouTube chat.
Mervin,
Whenever Friday when the league stuff starts, I'm just gonna spam Mervin.
Mervin, we want Mervin. We want Mervin. Oh, I need a nap. Anyway, um. But it's proof for that they can do that too. They can succeed outside of casting. They have very successful streams. Like you go in there, there's hundreds of people in there, and they have a very active chat. They have a very supportive
I mean, I've
chat.
been watching Maven streams for a long time. I've been
Yeah,
watching his streams since like Blackout.
like I
It's
love,
so funny
I
watching
love,
him
I
stream.
love watching them play, and they play with like high level streamers.
Yeah,
So
and that's the thing is people think that Maven's like trash because he's balding. He's 33, 34 years old now, and but
oh
like you watch him, you watch his stream for like 2 games, and he's frying
oh
kids.
yeah,
Like he's
like
really
they
good.
they play with the best of the best, and the thing is like those people also have a lot of viewers, and like I saw a tweet from TP saying like I'll raid you as much as possible. Like they have people that support them, because they've made connections, and that kind of goes back to what we talked about last time on the podcast. Is like networking. It's very important. It's about who you know. A lot of times it's about who you know, and because those people are the ones that have those connections that can kind of just be like, hey, like I'll give you, like I got a couple thousand, I'll give you a big raid, and those people discover you even more, drop you follows, come back.
I
Like,
mean, hey, like I'm not trying to say anything specifically, but I mean, Courage JD follows me now, so
I mean, you're already famous, dude. That right alone. I think the most. I think I have
and it's because
one.
I told him. It's because I said in his Twitter replies that I'd been watching him since I'd been watching his content since the BO3 days because I had like I've been there.
Mhm.
I mean, I was watching him when he had like 10, 20, 30K subs. And now he has like 4 mil.
So it's just kind of, you just gotta wait, you know? And I think the one person from like the CDL that follows me, which I think is pretty cool, I actually am followed by Arcides.
Let's go.
Yeah. He follows me. Faze Mew actually follows me too.
I mean, look at like other things that have happened CDL related. I mean, Apathy's rated Kichi before.
Yeah, like it's not out of the realm. You kind of just put yourself out there and you kind of just make yourself known, and people will. They a lot of streamers. I think this is what people don't understand is like a lot of streamers they take care of those who take care of them. You know,
Yeah.
and it's not oh I dropped 50. No, it's not like money wise. It's being there and supporting them, liking their tweets, watching their YouTube videos, commenting on stuff, being in their chat. Like people like streamers see that they recognize names who are there a lot, and
Yeah.
you kind of just have to you know take it. We kind of went like out of rails, but I'm just gonna finish this anyway. You have to take it. You kind of have to just you got to really just be there and genuinely support them, and they'll recognize it. They know, especially like these streamers who have been doing it for quite a while, they understand and they recognize true supporters over those that are just hungry for their viewers, that just want their viewers.
I mean, and we talked about that on the last podcast. Stuff like don't go into people's chats just talking about your stream and all that. And it's just there's just certain things that you can do that will make the streamer and their viewers gravitate to you. There's also stuff that you can do that has the opposite effect.
Yeah, that'd be like, oh, this guy's just in it for, just wants to tell everybody that, oh, I'm, streaming, or I'm editing a
Yeah.
video, or, oh, I'm editing
That's I
TikToks.
mean,
It's one of those things. It's like, you can't be that person. You gotta just genuinely support someone. Like, you gotta, like, because if you like someone's content and they kind of vibe with the way that you, like, if they're kind of similar to the way that you do content, those viewers will be interested in your content too, because it's kind of the similarity thing. Like, I'm not gonna go into some toxic chat that's very prejudiced and everything, because that's not the kind of people I like. That's not the kind of people I like to surround myself with. I like very open-minded people who are willing to learn something new, or are very supportive people, because that's the kind of people that's the kind of person I like to be. So I like to surround myself with people similar. So when I go into streams and I find people that are like that, it's like, oh, okay, like, I like this community. Like, I genuinely want to be a part of it. And people just naturally will get your vibe, and they'll ask the questions eventually. They're like, yo, do you stream? Or they'll follow you on Twitter, after you, like,
well,
reply
that
a
I mean,
GIF.
I kind of did that over the weekend because I've been watching one of the guys that's on that kind of helped start Obey Undead is the MC Zombie Slayer, and he has been at this for over a month now, but he's going for around 200 on every zombies map that it's achievable on.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's been going at it for like a month. He's had like almost nonstop streams for like a month, and he's just finishing Black Ops 1 right now. So, like, and I was just like, I've been in there like every so often, like just watching his progress. And like I've talked to him and I've been like, oh man, these games take this long. Like, and like we were having actual conversations about the game and like how it works instead of me talking about, oh, I'm gonna stream like and stuff like that. And then I said I was like, I'm thinking about going for a world record, and he was like giving me like little like tips on like what you need to like think about in the game, like how long you need to plan to spend playing and all that. Like he was talking to me about like what you need to do to keep yourself from getting bored or losing focus and stuff like that. So uh it was just good conversations rather than me just telling him, yeah, I'm trying to stream a world record. That's why I'm in your chat.
Yeah. No, it's more like, it's one of those things. You gotta be smart about how you say it. You can't be that because streamers get really annoyed with it because they get a lot of people like that. It's like, those bots that are in their chats going, do you want to become famous? Click this
It's
link
like,
and buy
and
followers.
I've had a few of these people pop in. I'm sure you've had a few of these people pop in, Tone, but I've had like some people who literally, like, you'll be playing a game and all they'll come in and say is, "Can I play with you?" or like, "Can you add me so we can play?" and stuff like that. And it's like, I I want to play with viewers, but at the same time, like, usually when people say stuff like that, I'm playing with other people, or I'm playing solo and I want to play solo. And like all they want to do is just, it seems like the people want to do is just get time to play with a streamer.
Yeah, see, the thing is, for me personally, like, I like playing with viewers, so unless I don't, like, most of the time, especially, like, early on in Vanguard, but since I played such an early time in the day, like, there's not a lot of people on, so I usually have playing with viewers on, because I just want to meet new people. Like, that's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons why I like Twitch, is just meeting new people. So, even if they don't stick around. But when I don't have the playing with viewers on and people ask, it's like, come on, guys, like, like, it's one of the, like, I don't have playing with viewers on. I say I'm gun grinding or solo dub grinding, and people are like, "Hey, can I play?" And unless they're like homies like you or like Kichi or Kaz or Mr. Like the real homies that like I play with a lot, that I don't get to play with as much as I'd like to or whatever. Like if Taylor popped in my chat, she's like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not grinding solo no more." It's like, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm not in the mood to, you know, deal with new people on my stream, because it is your stream at the end of the day. And that's one thing about like playing with viewers and stuff like that, is like, you don't know how they're gonna be on stream. You don't know if they're gonna say something that's outlandish or whatever. Because I've played with like other members of like that I've met through like organizations and stuff like that, or just communities, and I've played with them because I was like, oh, let's have a good time, and I was streaming, and like they've said not so great things that I'm like, sorry, that does not fly here. I think Deception knows
Yeah.
what I'm referring to, but
Yeah.
like there's certain things that don't, like, there's things that don't fly here, and it's because I like to like, my chat is a very, everyone's welcome. You're, when you come to my chat, if you feel like you're getting, hated on or crapped on, or someone's having some prejudice against you, or being,
Whatever the case may be.
whatever the case may be, like, I would like my chat to be an open, safe space where people can come just hang, have a good time. Sometimes I do get a little negative, but that's just because Call of Duty does that to me. But like, it's like, you wanna, you wanna create that a good environment. So, but anyway, Merc and Maven, they'll do well. That's the summary of that conversation. Merc and Maven will do well. I think they have a lot of potential on streaming and creating content, and they have people around them that will help them because they genuinely like them as people. And I think that should be a lesson to a lot of you listening. If people like you genuinely as a person, they will help you out.
Yep.
I think in real life too, like, I'll take this in real life as well. Like, I had a lot of stuff happen, and I ended up not having a place to live. And my grandparents are like absolute saints. So they obviously took me in. But at the same time, like, whenever, like, even before this, like, they'd ask for my help, and I'd come at the drop of a hat. Like, I'd just drop everything I was doing and come help them.
Yeah.
So it's like, they know, like, I'm not just using them. Like, I'm,
Yep.
I'm actually, like, here to help them, and they need it and whatnot. So it's one of those things, you just gotta be genuine. I think that's
Yep.
genuine people is what.
What you gotta have.
Yep. Anyway, back to Call of Duty. New season.
Yeah, I think we gotta finish CDL.
CDL. Bro, we get so off topic sometimes. I have no idea how the hell we're gonna have a guest on here. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna.
Especially like if someone like Kishi comes on.
Oh my god! The thing is like, Kichi and I, we've known each other for a long time. She's like my big sister, and So like the conversations we have, they go all over the place. One minute we'll be talking about Call of Duty, the next we'll be talking about like the beach, you know, like
Yeah.
it's just our favorite food, you know. We're just like passing out
Yeah, see,
after.
like when me and Tamago we're having our conversations, you were like the moderator that was trying to keep track of us.
Yeah,
That's gonna be me when it's you and Kiji. Because you
pretty
and Kiji
much.
are just gonna go off on tangents.
We are. That's how we are, though. That's it's a friendship, you know. It's the friendship. I mean, I've known Kichi for over like 2.5 years now. You know, we've been besties ever since. But so like we could just talk about anything and everything, and it's just. I think that's one thing that's gonna be
Yup.
hard is like when we have people that are like that on the podcast. We really just gotta like one of us is really just gotta be like, hey, yo, topic. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about puppies. We're talking about Call of Duty. Or, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's true.
But anywho, CDL. Exception?
I will say one of the best series of the weekend was definitely Ultra versus Surge. That whole series was so fun to watch. And especially the way it ended with accuracy getting a ninja defuse in round 11.
Ooh.
Oh, it was so good.
You know, one thing I did notice is like these rookies are low key popping off.
Oh yeah.
Like they're showing up.
Um,
They're like, this is we're
you know
here.
the esports awards, how they do like a play of the month or a play of the week and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They for Capitol's 8 streak that it went on against NYSL, that was nominated for play of the month last month.
Oh shit.
And that was his first match in the CDL.
Oh my goodness. You know, it just proves, you know, like you don't have to have like you just have to, you know, just if you once you're given the opportunity to do something, take full advantage of it. Like don't just kind of write it, you know, just don't just be like I made it. No, take advantage of it. Show them what you're about, you know, cuz it could really help you out in the long run, you know.
I mean, and it just like all the CDL rookies are going off.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, even
They have things
in
to prove.
London series when they played against Florida and they destroyed them. Like Nasty and Gizmo, the two rookies they're popping off like every game.
They just got to you got to show them what you're about.
I still
Glad they
definitely
are.
think the three front runners for rookie of the year are Pred, Civ, and Capsule, but
Yeah. I agree. I definitely
I
from
mean
what I've seen, yeah.
for the last match on Saturday though, I mean we don't really have to go into it that much because it's kind of business as usual, but Gorillas hit NYSL with a 3-1. NYSL is just they're struggling. I don't know what's up.
You would think they wouldn't because well, they've got like Playster and
If
Crim on
Crim
there.
and Clay,
Yeah.
like what? Why are they? Why are they having problems? But it is what it is. They'll probably pick it up. It's probably just like Optic. They just got to figure out what's going on and pick it up.
Yeah.
Um, and then on Sunday, Mutineers clapped back and 3-1 Paris Legion. So Paris Legion sadly falls 0-2 in the on the weekend. And then
But they showed up
Faze
though.
3-1 the Thieves. They kind of looked like they were back in form a little bit that series.
That's good.
I watched it. They looked a little bit dominant. I think they picked it back up, but again, another devastating round 11. Optic lost to Rocker. I mean, the worst way you could lose in a weekend. They lost 2 game 5 round 11s.
Damn. That's not a way to go. But so what's next with the CDO? What do we got? What are we looking forward to?
Let me see if they pulled up a schedule for next weekend.
Yeah. While he does that, big shout out to Hector Rodriguez, aka Hex of Optic Gaming. Happy birthday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you ever watch this or hear about it, you know, happy birthday, man. You're an inspiration to a lot of people, myself included.
Oh, this is interesting. This Friday, there's 4 matches instead of 3, and on
Ooh.
Sunday there's only going to be 2 matches.
What? Interesting. Only two though. They're gonna stretch that out like 6 hours,
All right,
guaranteed.
so let's see.
Guaranteed. They're gonna
Breach
stretch.
versus Legion. Okay. Rocker versus Surge. That's gonna be a good series. Ultra versus LAG. NYSL versus the Thieves. That's gonna be a good series. Rocker versus Ravens. Legion versus Optic. I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh, this is gonna be a good one too. Faze versus Breach. Oh,
Ooh, okay.
that's gonna be a good match. Thieves versus Mutineers, Ravens versus Gorillas, and then Ultra versus Mutineers. So,
Weekend we've got ahead of us. Well, it's online again, correct?
yep,
So
all of the qualifying matches are online.
we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. We'll keep you. I'll try to watch as best as I can, but I always say
Don't
that,
worry,
and then I
I got
end up.
you with updates.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Deception. I appreciate you. um, but yeah, so kind of like staying within COD. Got some season 2 stuff going on.
Oh yeah, they dropped the roadmap on Monday.
Oh yeah.
That
So
was crazy.
let's kind of run through it. I'll run through the multiplayer, and then you can run through the zombies. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Alrighty. So I'm just gonna pull up the tweets that I've been seeing.
Charlie
Uh
Intel's pinned tweet has the roadmap.
oh shit. All right. All right. Charlie Intel roadmap pinned. All right. So Vanguard Season 2 roadmap. So it looks like for Warzone, there's going to be some new locations coming. We're going to get
Yep.
Chemical Factory, on Caldera, Research Labs, and then we're going to get Rebirth Reinforced. I'm not quite sure what that's going to entail, but
That's probably what they're calling the substantial rebirth changes.
mm-hmm, the
That
Rebirth
they said
Reinforced.
they're gonna happen.
I'm not really
Um,
sure like what that means, but we'll have to wait and see.
I know Chemical Factory is where they're gonna produce the Nebula 5 gas, which will come in a little bit.
Ooh, okay. As far as new modes go, there's gonna be Caldera Crash. And then
That's Clash from Verdansk, but
okay,
it's called Caldera
Crash.
Crash.
And then Rebirth Island Iron Trios.
That's gonna be so fun. I cannot wait to play Iron Trials on Rebirth. That's gonna be amazing.
Me too. And we're gonna get a new vehicle called a bomber. I'm guessing it's a plane where you can drop
Well,
bombs out of it.
that's one new vehicle along with an armored motorbike and a
Mm,
tank.
yeah. So
That bomber vehicle's only in Vanguard Royale, so
there's gonna be a search and deployment event. There's gonna be a replayed balloon. Armored
redeploy
transport.
balloon is like you it's like you have a balloon. There's like gonna be set ones around the map. They're high up in the sky. You can rappel up to them and jump off of them. You can easily like get to somewhere else way faster than just running.
Yeah. There's gonna be an armored transport.
Yeah, that's supposed to give you some big loot if you can take that thing down.
Oh yeah. And then a portable decontamination stations. So I'm guessing that's for like getting out of the gas. If you get stuck in
That
gas.
that is a field upgrade that's gonna you can use it in the chemical area or in the gas. It works with everything. It's a little thing you put down and it filters the air, so you have a little bubble where you can't take damage to gas. And I don't know how to feel about that one. There could be some problems caused with that one, but we'll see.
And then we have the Nebula V ammo and kill streak.
So the Nebula 5 ammo is a field upgrade, and it does nothing to people who are like just taking damage. It's not like incendiary bullets where it's gonna like deal more damage or sustainable damage to people. All it does is if you shoot somebody fully with it and they go down, um their downed body emits gas, so it would essentially make it harder for enemies to revive each other if you're shooting people with it.
Ooh,
And
interesting.
the Nebula kill streak is it's a Nebula bomb. I don't know for sure what it's going to be. I don't know if it's like a glide bomb or you just set it somewhere and then it blows up, but it's probably going to blow up and emit gas everywhere that's going to kill people inside of it.
Alrighty, then moving on to multiplayer, we actually get 2 new maps this season: the Gondola and Casablanca.
Yeah, those two maps look pretty good. They said they were 3-lane style maps. Um, I just hope I just hope they're good. I hope they're competitive worthy because there's some maps that I'd love to replace with these two if they're
Mm-hmm.
good, but
Oh yeah.
they definitely look like they're promising.
Alrighty, and so I think what a lot of us are waiting on is that we get some new modes, one of which is ranked play, the beta version of it. I don't know why it's beta, but it's fine.
It's
We're
probably in
getting it,
beta
you
so they
know.
can tweak and make changes faster than they could if they just put it in uh regular because um they said that they're gonna look and they're gonna constantly like monitor what people are saying and monitor feedback and
Yeah, like
uh
actually make it like
help
good.
make the ranked play mode really good, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. I really want to play that too.
I mean, I kind of wish we got it earlier, but at least we're getting it. You know, hopefully next year they'll drop it before the new year. And then we're getting arms race, motorcycles and tanks. Like,
Yeah, there's not known about that mode very much. A lot of people are thinking that's like the ground war mode, but I don't know. There is a big mode that they're talking about, but nobody knows for sure, but we're assuming that that's what arms race is.
all right, and then we get new content drops. It's coming. This new season drops on Valentine's Day, so we're getting a nice Valentine's Day skin.
Oh,
It's like a
me and
little
White already
pink
talked
bear.
about this. We're buying that. We're buying that bear
Oh, me
skin.
too. It's really cute, but I think it kind of like contradicts the realism that they're trying to get with the game. You know why they want the trophy systems in there and everything.
Well, I had a conversation about on Twitter about somebody
Oh,
about that. They were talking
I
about
saw that.
yeah, like literally they're talking about how they want to balance realism and taking liberties and stuff, and they're not going to throw a trophy system in, but they're going to put a bear in.
Yeah,
They're going to give us a bear skin. Hey, at least
it's
they're throwing Simtexes in, so we don't have to deal with regular frag grenades.
true. And then we're getting the Gamma vehicle, which just kind of looks like a Jeep type
It's
deal. Like,
probably going to be for that arms race mode.
yeah. Um. So we have zombies now, which I think Deception's gonna be excited about. Except for there's still not really any like round based, to my knowledge. But
There is no realm base map.
we're
That
getting.
new the new Terra Maldicta map is literally the same as Daron Fong. It's just different locations.
Oh. Anyway, so we're getting that new map. Should be a nice change of scenery. We're getting a new enemy, the Zambala, the Deceiver. It looks pretty badass. It's got like
Yeah, she's
3
gonna be on
heads.
every map. You have to once you encounter her and you engage her, you can try to kill her, but there's not like a lot known about that. But
She's got 3 heads though, so you know. There's gonna be 3 new arenas. The Corrupted Lands, Eastern Desert, and Hall of Truth.
Corrupted Lands is literally set in the dark ether, so
Ooh.
let's see what that's about.
So now there's 2 new wonder weapons: the Decimator Shield and our favorite of the Zombies franchise, the Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, literally the thing that should have been in the game since launch, but I digress.
And then we have a new objective called Sacrifice. So I'm
I
from
can't really tell exactly what sacrifice is, but um, it does seem like it's a little bit different than the other objectives.
I think from like the picture itself and kind of the name, I think it might be kind of like you know how you have to do the Wonder Weapon on Die Machine? You know how you
Yeah,
have to like run the zombies in front of the machine and it kind of just sucks them up. I
yeah,
think it might be something similar to that, honestly.
it might.
There's a new ally, the Rakana the Last.
That's basically healing aura from Cold War.
Okay, and then new artifact, Wand of the Wilds.
Yeah, what that does is if you have that, it's a covenant. Um, the Wand of the Wilds is what you use to like heal people with the healing aura. But there's also a new covenant coming that when you get hit by zombies, there's a chance that it triggers your artifact. So it's weird. Like, I don't have a single problem with that being a thing if when it triggers the artifact, it doesn't waste the artifact you already have
Mm-hmm.
or the progress. But if it's just like, oh, I'm getting hit, so it triggers the artifact when you don't want it to, that's not good.
So now moving on to kind of just like the new, like all Vanguard and Warzone. So we got some new operators and some perks and weapons and stuff. So let's go over those. We have 3 new weapons making an appearance in this season. The KG M40 looks like an LMG. The Whitley, probably an AR, and then the Ice Axe, which is a variation on melee.
Wow,
It'll be later in
ToNaGeScorp
season.
goes backwards.
What?
The
Did I get them wrong?
KG M40 is the AR and the Whitley is the
Damn
LMG.
it! I was trying to go into this and I'm not
And
knowing any
one thing
knowledge.
that's cool about the Ice Axe, I don't know if anybody remembers in Infinite Warfare when they released the axe in that game,
Mm-hmm.
where you could melee people with it and throw it. You can do that with the Ice Axe.
You can do that with
melee
Ice
people
Axe
with it,
too,
or you
like a
can chuck
combat,
it at people.
like a combat axe type thing. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then we get 2 new perks: Mechanic and Armory. Do you know anything about those?
Mechanic is a direct counter to Engineer, so if you use an Engineer and it shows all of the enemy's items, if an enemy's using Mechanic, it just won't show their items. To somebody who has Engineer. And Armory is the new version of Gearhead from Cold War. It makes your field upgrade times faster.
Okay. And then we got 3 new operators. Thomas and Anna come right at the beginning. They kind of look pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. And then Gustavo. Yep. Gustavo looks pretty badass too. I like it.
I love how they're all holding the STG.
Yeah. Gustavo is probably going to be on the battle pass, and Thomas and Anna are probably going to be on the battle pass as well.
Gustavo's coming in season when the new SMG comes out because that's going to be his favorite gun.
Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing Thomas and Anna are going to be battle pass, like beginning of the battle pass ones, and then Gustavo will come out later. He'll probably be like what's her name? The one that you have to, the guy that they have to buy a bundle to get. I don't know his name. Anyway. And then we get some pretty epic new bundles. Some of the most notable that they have are Heartbreaker, Mecha Menace, and Pack Leader Ultra Skin Bundle, which looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the season. It looks stacked as far as content goes on like all sides. I'm still quietly trying to pretend that zombies doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But multiplayer and Warzone wise, I think we're good.
I think it'll be interesting. I kind of want to play zombies just to see how these new things go out, but I'm not really gonna.
I'm still wary about the ray gun. I just have a feeling that even if they use the same damage values that they use in Cold War, the ray gun's going to be trash in this game.
Yeah.
Because it seems like all the guns just don't do.
But I mean, there is a story quest, so maybe we can kind of do that. If we don't want to do like regular zombies, they're adding a story quest. So, I'm guessing...
but that means we have to play regular zombies to go through the story quest.
We do.
That is tedious.
We do. Ew, I don't like that. Hoping it'd be like a separate mode, honestly.
No, that's their wording for the Easter egg. So, we'd still have to go through regular zombies.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Vanguard zombies is not what anybody wanted to hear, but yet here we are.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're gonna be seeing in season 2.
I'm really excited for Rebirth Iron Trials and ranked play.
Yeah, me too. I'm ready.
Those are probably the 2 highlights for me.
I'm ready to grind Warzone again. I gotta get my PlayStation hooked up today, after this podcast, and play a couple games or 2. But I would continue stream after this podcast, but actually I probably will. Not gonna lie. Let's try to start up my PlayStation and play some Warzone.
Yeah, just get your PlayStation set up and play with me and Wyatt.
Yeah, but you know what I gotta do?
Rios is in now, so
you wanna know what I gotta do first?
Oh God.
Go pee.
Great.
I held it out to the end of the podcast. Okay, listen. I feel like that's an achievement.
Great.
It's because I drank some coffee. It makes me really gotta go. But Anything else worth talking about? I mean, we've probably got. I know we've probably got some questions, so let's go ahead and do those real quick.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, I think we do. Because we haven't done the podcast. So I know we have one. I know Mr. Burner City one. Okay. Okay. Comments. All right. Here's one. From 8 days ago. If you could create content full time, what is one game that you'd play that hasn't been featured on your channel? Deception? Or do you need a second? Because I already know.
Well, okay. Are we talking about creating content full time as in you have to play this game a lot, or is it like one of those games you can just throw in once a week?
I don't know. Mr. Burner's not in here to clarify, so I think just give an answer for both, and we'll call it good.
I think one game I would probably like to create content on that I haven't played is I mean, if we're gonna count games that haven't come out yet, Gran Turismo 7, but I'm already gonna do that anyways.
I think for me, one game that I'd like to really just get into is that I really don't play these games on stream, but I have them is Lego games. The new Lego Star Wars saga,
Oh,
like the
imagine,
Skywalker
imagine
saga,
if you play Lego Star Wars.
because the Skywalker saga has all the content from all the movies. So I'd love to just play that on. You know what I mean? Like that would be really, I think
I
that'd be a
remember
really good
playing
time.
Lego Star Wars on PS2. It was
Yeah.
fun.
So I think that's one right there. I mean, I'm probably gonna do it anyway once again, but you know, I think that like if I were to do it create content full time, I think I could make like an alternate channel where I just play through every single Lego game that I can get my hands on.
You could be like T Martin 2, where he posts like 6 videos a day playing a different game.
Something like that.
I mean, seriously, T Martin 2's channel's like 5 years old, but it has like 15,000 videos.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. And it'd be really fun
He
too. So
posts like 3 or 4 videos a day. I
dang,
literally don't know how he has time to go on vacation every couple months, but keep posting videos.
it's. I used to do this, so
I have a
back.
feeling that he just sits down for like 12
Oh yeah,
hours a day
it's a
sometimes
you have to
and
do
just plays games.
what you have to do is you have to like one day you have to just play, the next day you just edit, and then the next day you do the thumbnails and titles and stuff like
He's
that.
probably got an editing team because he
Oh
puts
yeah,
out 3 videos. He puts out like 3 or 4 videos a day every day. So I guarantee you, he just makes the video and just sends the stuff to his editors and just bam, they're
and
done.
then yeah, that's probably what happens. So we have some more. We have Tamaga with questions, but we'll go through them. So who do you think is the best rookie in the CDL right
Pred,
now? Fred?
he's
Alrighty.
nasty.
Who do you think will be the season MVP?
I'll pick from who I think are going to be the top 4 teams at the end of the year. I'll tell you who I think would be the MVP on each team. I think for Faze it would probably be Simp or Beezy. Probably Simp. For Optic it would be Shotzi. Maybe Dashy if he keeps popping off, but he's gotta be more consistent. Some games he does really well, and some games he just doesn't. Um, if it was Surge, I could see Pred walking out with the MVP. To be honest, him or Sib. Uh, and I'd put Ultra as my 4th team in the top 4, and I'd say probably Cammy, just because of the Twitter handle, Cammy MVP. Maybe Kleenex.
So who do you think will be the first team to make a roster change? This question was 13 days ago, by the way.
Oh man, I want to meme and say LA Thieves, but
Yeah,
they're doing okay.
I think that's one team that
Honestly,
I think a lot of people will say it's gonna be the team that's meant to make a roster change, but I think they're gonna try to learn from their mistakes of last year and not make a roster change for a while and just see how it goes.
if I had to pick a team to make a roster change first, I would honestly say Mutineers. I think Mutineers might be the first team to make a change.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Also, I just choked in my own spit.
Wow.
Thought you should know that. So what do you think some teams that will win a major will be? Like I think
I mean, I could any of the top 4, Optic, Phase, Surge, Ultra. I could
Yeah.
see Thieves winning a major.
Yeah.
I could see NYSL if they get their stuff together winning a major.
There's a lot of teams,
Um,
like, especially this year.
I could see Breach winning a major if they could pull some stuff off. I mean, like,
I
I
mean,
mean, there's
especially
like
this year, it's
7
a
or
little
8
bit
teams that
harder.
I could tell you could win a major.
Like last year, there's only like a few teams to pick from, but this year I feel like there's quite a few teams that could really pull one
Yeah,
out.
last year the only teams that I would have probably told you would win a major is like Phase, Optic, Ultra. Like I never saw the Rocker thing coming.
Yeah, that was a big upset. I like that though. I like upset. So who do you think will be the runner up at champs, or who do you who do you think will be champion? Like who do you
Who
think
would I mean,
CDL
if we're
champions?
looking like early, the safe bet is Phase just because they're the team that has like the most chemistry and all that. But
Yeah,
I could honestly, with the way they've been playing, I could see Surge making a run.
yeah,
And I'm not saying I could see Surge making a run like last year where it's like, oh, they might get top 6. I'm saying they could make it to grand finals and just seriously push for a championship. So
okay, okay. Now who do you like see as like a runner up type? I feel like a lot of the
honestly,
teams
I'd,
could.
I'd probably say Surge might be the runner up. Like I could easily see them making it to grand finals and just if they were playing against FaZe or somebody that like FaZe just being a little bit better.
Yeah, they could. I mean, I think they could probably take them to like game 5. I feel like I
Unless Surge
hope.
came from losers bracket. If Surge came from losers bracket, they'd have that momentum and they're good enough that I think that they could beat them.
Yeah, one thing I hope is that the championship, like as like the event as a whole is really like a lot of game fives. That's what I want to see. That's what I need to see. I think.
Oh, we're gonna see them for sure. That deep in the season, when like everybody's way better at this game that they are now, and they know way more. Oh, we're
I
gonna
want
see
to
a
see a lot of
lot
game
of game
fames.
fives.
I want to see a lot of them. I want to see a lot of round 11s. I want to see a lot of game fives. All I'm saying. And
I
that's our
mean, look,
questions.
last weekend was the first weekend we had 3 of them. So
I know. That's what I like to hear. But yeah, so that's the end of our questions. If anyone else is in chat and has any, but got about what until I see one really, or until like got about 30 seconds. But
30
yeah,
seconds until Tone has to pee really bad.
yeah, I'm probably gonna pee my pants if we don't end this like yesterday.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, so let's think here. So we had a really good conversation today. I mean, I feel like we went over quite a bit. We got a little distracted there for a minute, but I feel like it was
Yeah.
good distraction. That's what I like about.
That's the beauty of a podcast.
We get on the good little tangents. I mean, they do get a little away from the main point, but I feel like they're needed. We talk about some really interesting things.
Yep.
We got some good stuff planned for you guys, so make sure if you are watching this, make sure you follow our Twitches or subscribe on YouTube and like the podcast, or if you guys are on other platforms, make sure you follow the podcast or like it or whatever, and tune in to more. We go live every Wednesday here on Twitch, at 12 p.m. EST, and then the video, everything else goes live at 3 p.m. EST on every other platform. So if you want to be like 2 to 3 hours early, and want to get all the inside scoop, we give you a little bit of an opportunity to watch the filming of it live. So take advantage of it. Come on. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Climb Together podcast. It is episode number 12. It's pretty crazy we've come this far.
Yep.
So
12 episodes, man.
yeah. It's only going up, we're only continuing, we're only getting better, we're only, improving.
From here, homies.
Oh yeah. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys.
That's why it's called Climb Together.
Oh yeah. Alrighty guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Exception, do you have any last words? God, I said that like you were on your deathbed.
My last words are that now, because Tone had to pee, I have to pee. So that's a real duo problem.
Oh yeah, that's how you know we're synced. But yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your day, night, or morning. We will see you guys next week. Peace.